welcome back. Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Yes. As mentioned in the last episode, this will be a Naughty Dog episode.
Yeah.
A Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog.
Created and developed by Naughty Dog.
I loved that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just starting up.
I was so upset it wasn't in the remaster. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely missed that. But like, that was my childhood. You are like we discussed in the Switch episode, that you had a Nintendo childhood. My childhood was PlayStation. It's one of the first consoles I remember getting, to be honest.
Yeah.
And obviously part of that childhood was Crash Bandicoot.
Obviously.
Obviously.
The PlayStation 1.
It was PlayStation's mascot, wasn't it? So wasn't he?
Yeah, that's strange. Do you think PlayStation had any part in the deal to sell him off?
Yeah, I think it was that they wanted to, because obviously Nintendo had Mario and PlayStation wanted to be like a household name like Nintendo was.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it was so much as a commission. Like the Naughty Dog were just working for them or with them or something like that, and then they ended up making Crash Bandicoot. But I think everyone pretty much knew that it'd end up being the system's mascot.
Yeah.
And it worked out for him like very well. It was a very popular game. Still is. And it was like technically a masterpiece as well. Because they didn't have physical bones like they do now for animation, so they had to animate the polygons,
Vertices,
and the vertices.
Vertex animation,
which sounds like a fucking ball ache.
I don't know. Back then, when a model has like no more than 60 vertices,
still, I bet it wasn't very easy for the industry professionals at that time to be amazed by what the animation team was doing.
Yeah,
it mustn't have been that easy.
Yeah.
Because I've read articles and interviews and stuff where industry professionals from that time were all really impressed with what Naughty Dog were doing, and they all were worrying because their games didn't have shit like that. And in a way, Naughty Dog set like a baseline, like a standard for animation, because like they did the best like animation, and they still do.
Yeah.
And the graphics as well. Because obviously it was, I forgot the guy's name. The two guys that started it. But basically,
I'm terrible with names. You won't get it from me.
I'm better at names, but like I don't say the names often enough for it to sink in.
Just say Naughty Dog and you know what you mean.
Basically, I mean, it started off with two kids who went to like a Jewish school. I forgot what it was about. But it was about some Jewish culture thing, and that's how they met. Yeah. And they were both.
There's a thing.
It was Bat Mitzvah school or something like that. I think is Bar Mitzvah the female version and Bat Mitzvah's the guy version. Or something?
I don't know. I've never heard that.
But
just to clarify, we don't have many Jews in England, so we don't really hear about the culture as much as an American would.
Yeah, it's not that we don't have many Jews. It's just that it's not a big.
It's not one of the prominent.
Yeah, religions. It's not a prominent religion.
We don't really have a prominent religion in England.
No, there's probably
atheism.
No, there are a lot of Christian people in England. I think religion.
I've seen more Jehovah's Witnesses than I've seen Christians.
Yeah,
like typical Christians.
But anyway, so they went to school. It was like some sort of school for Jewish children that was like they taught them things about like the rite of passage, bar mitzvah stuff thing.
Mm-hmm.
From what I gathered, anyway, I'm not too clued into Jewish culture and religion. But they were both realised that they both loved computers and programming.
Yeah.
And they started making games, but back then computing was very limited, so they had to like glitch their home Apple computers. Like they customized their own painting program, like glitched that somehow because you couldn't save images or something like that. And so what they did is they draw it pixel by pixel perfect, right? And I think if they did it wrong, they had to start over from scratch. So they'd do the art, they'd quickly turn it off, the computer off, the Apple off, and then reboot it, and then somehow managed to catch that image as it was being deleted in like the RAM or whatever passed for RAM back then.
What the fuck?
and then exported it out somehow to make the
Wow.
games. Like those kids were geniuses. They're not kids anymore. They're still geniuses. But back then, they were way ahead of the time. And they started out originally as I think Gavin and Ruben they were called. I don't know. They started out as Jam Software, and I think they were selling educational games to schools and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they eventually started out started off as Naughty Dog, and they made Keith the Thief.
Keith the Thief with an F.
Yeah.
In Keith, not in Thief.
Yeah.
Well, there is an F in Thief, but that's not the remarkable thing about it.
Keith usually ends in a TH.
Yeah.
They made Keith the Thief, Way of the Warrior, which I believe was a way of like trying to capitalize on the whole Mortal Kombat fighter trend.
Yeah.
And then, but the first big game that really like put their name out there in the stratosphere was obviously Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Which, I read there's a very cool article on IGN, the history of Naughty Dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommend anyone who's interested in that to go and give it a read. It's a fucking fantastic read. It's not finished. I don't know if is it called. I think it might have been Colin Moriarty who wrote it. I think he said that he intends to finish it, but he's just not at this moment. He's too busy.
Yeah.
And he's been busy like that for like 3 years. But yeah, I was reading it and like they started out just at home, and then they went to separate universities, or they call them colleges. And so like they had to, I think they said they believed they were the first people that like worked from separate offices. I forgot what it's called, like e-commuting or whatever.
Yeah.
They said they believe the first people in the world, or at least in the industry, that they did that, which I thought was hilarious. And then eventually they did move closer and stuff, and they had this really shitty, dingy office, and they had a dog in the office, and when people were turning up to apply for positions in the job, they came from like very respectable and professional environments where everyone's got their own cubicle and it's all very grey and monotone or whatever and oppressing, to this dingy little office that had fucking fur everywhere. It was filthy and disgusting, but everyone was like enjoying themselves and having a good time and just enjoying what they were doing. And and so they just went from like probably working in the garage to working in different states to having a shitty dingy office to being like the biggest developer in the world for video game wise. And I think that's just like, that's an amazing story. I think no other developer studio has got that story.
Great story, yeah. Well, I think that is maybe the reason why they ended up such a passionate and talented team.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of the greatness from small beginnings.
Yeah, every time I say that, or I'm playing Uncharted and Drake says it or something, I'm just blown away with how much that applies to Naughty Dog's situation.
Yeah.
Because they became great from a very small place when they were fucking kids. I just love Naughty Dog's story.
I wonder if that's why they chose that.
Maybe it might mean something to them on a personal level.
Yeah.
But I love Naughty Dog, but I love the games way more.
Yeah.
Like Crash Bandicoot, played that with my sister when I was a kid. We played it so often and we got so good at it, or at least I did. My sister got frustrated all the time. She died all the time, and I was just like, pass me the controller, I'll do it. And she used to fucking just snap and like have a massive argument with me about it. You never let me do these games, boys. Like you always doing shit. But we got so good at it, we like racked up 99 lives. I think we had way more, but you stopped counting 99.
Yeah.
We didn't know, like, because we never died, so we didn't see it go below 99.
Yeah.
We just got really good at it, and we played it so often. And I think after a while, I managed to get all the crystals, and I did all the time trials and stuff. But this was like pre-trophy era, so I didn't have anything to show for it. And we got Crash Bandicoot 2, and that was the same shit. My favourite one though is got to be Warped.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's my favourite one as well.
I love Warped so much.
Candice, my girlfriend, is insanely good at that.
Yeah.
Like I've seen her, because I had it on Vita. I've seen her complete it on there. She has it on an emulator on her laptop, or she did. when I first met her. She was really good at it on there, and we got the remastered one. And the remastered one there's so many things wrong with it. It's so difficult, but she's nearly finished Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Yeah,
Despite all the things that are wrong with it.
I think it goes back to that thing we said in the last episode about having it was a very particular skill set that we've all lost because we've grown up as gamers.
Well, there was a big problem with platformers like that, which was depth perception.
Yeah.
Especially before the remaster, when shadows and stuff like that were nowhere near as good. Depth perception was just impossible. There used to be a game I loved playing with my older sister on PlayStation 1 called Croc. Don't know if you ever played Croc.
I played Croc.
The platforming in that was impossible because you couldn't tell how far away you were from things. Just pixels mashing themselves into each other.
No, yeah, like I've gone back and I've played the originals now, not the remastered ones, but like the actual originals. And like, it's so hard to see what's going on and play it because like we're used to crisp textures and high polygon counts on the characters and stuff like that, and it's hard to see.
Yeah.
But I wish like it wasn't because we've lost that skill set. I want to be really good at platformers and stuff, but I get too frustrated.
Especially since they're coming back.
Yeah, and I think if we'd have kept going with platformers and we'd never lost that skill, the new one won't be so bad.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe if we'd have kept going with platformers and developers were still making them, they wouldn't have cocked up the collision objects so badly.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me, the collision objects. I don't mind that they changed the jump. They used the physics from the third game, but they've put them on all three of them. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'm not too bothered about
It's the fact that he has rounded collision objects and like
just slide off of
platforms and shit. That's got to be the most frustrating in any platformer where you've made the jump,
but you just slip off. Fucking Destiny.
Yeah. Oh, that was an
That's
entirely...
not a platformer, but still.
Destiny was an entirely different...
Bungie's got their own...
Yeah. The physics is mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much really to say about Crash Bandicoot. It is where it is. Everyone knows its reputation. They know why it's great.
The only story I have about Crash Bandicoot from my childhood, because I had a Nintendo childhood, and we did have a PlayStation 1, but it was my mum's. She liked to play Tomb Raider over and over again on it, but I was never allowed to use it. We had these Crash Bandicoot stickers, which went on the console, so you had like a Crash Bandicoot themed reset sticker. It'd go over the reset button to retheme the console.
Yeah.
And a big one that went over the disc tray, and it was like Crash Bandicoot stuff. But she was playing Tomb Raider, and she went to eat a meal or something. She was like right near the end of the game, didn't save it the whole time, and the sticker was peeling off the reset button. So I was like, oh, it'll be nice and reapply Mum's little sticker and reset the console for her.
Yeah, you told me the story. It's weird that, because my dad used to play PlayStation back when we had one. He used to play Resident Evil.
Really?
Really, but now he's like... I mean, he's got into mobile gaming, tablet gaming. He plays Boom Beach all the fucking time. Yeah. But for the longest time, he never got into it. It never went past Resident Evil for some reason. But yeah, I don't think I ever reset the console on him though. That's pretty awful. We were talking about Crash Bandicoot, but how there's like not much to say about it because it is where it is.
Yeah.
There's not much we can add to it.
Everybody knows Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, and then there's Jack and Daxter, which I only ever played one game. It was a long time ago. I've got the new, well, not the new one, but the first one, because it came with as a pre-order bonus for getting Uncharted Lost Legacy. But I haven't got around to playing that yet. So maybe when I have played it, we can talk about it in a future episode.
Yeah.
But I can say that, like in the animation with Crash Bandicoot, they did an amazing thing with their animation in Jack and Daxter, where to emphasize momentum and movement, they squashed and stretched parts of the character. And it had a very cartoony look. And they got it obviously from cartoons, how they animate cartoons, because it's one of the first things you get taught, like squash and stretch. But I don't think I'd seen it in a game before that. And I was always blown away by the animation. I still am now thinking
I
about
think
it.
In Jak and Daxter, when they were designing Daxter, they must have designed him based on how awesome he looks with squash and stretch animations. Like that long body, and like when he jumps in the air, like back half comes up and compresses the body. And then
I don't even know what species he looks like a ferret or something like that.
He's not an actual creature. I have played the first one recently. I think it's based on like a weasel.
Yeah, it's like that one in the Ice Age movie that's played by Simon Pegg.
Which one?
They go under the ground and there's dinosaurs everywhere.
What the fuck?
Have you not watched
Played
it?
by Simon Pegg. Which
Ice Age.
Oh, oh yeah, the like thing with an eye patch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he has that really cool story about how he ran into that T-Rex and he got eaten, and he's all like, "Sadly, I didn't live, but I survived."
Yeah.
Absolutely made me chuckle, that section of
Yeah.
the movie. But yeah, it reminds me of that, like a Weasley, like that sort of Weasley character.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, yeah, you're right. Like they made such a brilliant decision making that character with the way he looks when he's squashed and stretched. It's amazing. But like, we should probably go on to the games that we do remember the most and that we play quite frequently.
Yeah.
Which is Uncharted. aka how Tomb Raider should have been.
Oh, you've offended a lot of people with that. Yeah, I think when people say good game, my mind immediately goes to Uncharted or The Last of Us.
Yeah, I made you play Uncharted, didn't I?
You did. You bought a PS3 just to play Uncharted, didn't you?
I did. That's because I was a PlayStation. My childhood was PlayStation.
But your teenhood was
my teenhood
Xbox
was
teenhood.
Xbox 360. Halo 3 and Call of Duty on Xbox 360.
Yeah, you got into FPSs and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of into FPSs anyway, but like Xbox 360 is where it proper kicked off.
Yeah, the 360 is
it's the FPS machine, isn't it? It's
yeah,
like
exactly.
the console.
Plus, we'll probably talk about this a lot in this episode, but the PS3 controller sucked.
Oh,
The thumbsticks were awful.
I mean, I will defend Sony and all the PlayStations, like to the death, like all the way up the hill or whatever the fucking saying is. Oh my god. But the controller for the PS3 is shit, abysmal.
When I still had my PS3 before you took it, against my will, at gunpoint, I found out that you can use a PS4 controller.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't use a PS3 controller after that.
Yeah.
It wasn't much better. Like,
my issue is that it's too light. Like, I don't mind where my thumbs are. I mean, they fucking meet in the middle sometimes, and it's annoying.
Yeah, I used to press the PS button all the time.
Yeah. But it's just too light. There's not enough, like, you know, weight to it, which is what I like about the PlayStation 4 controller. It's very weighty.
Yeah.
Not too heavy.
It's a very adult controller. It's for big hands. It's got a lot of spaces. It's so beautiful.
But yeah, so like
I was in love with it.
I was like a massive Xbox fan. In fact, I was so much of an Xbox fan that I hated the PlayStation 3 for ages.
Yeah, no, I was the same. I think I was just jealous because I couldn't afford it and the graphics look so much better.
I don't think I was jealous. I was just very blinded. Like I was bought very much into the whole console war thing, and because I had an Xbox One and an Xbox 360, I was very much an Xbox fan. Completely forgetting about the fact that I grew up on PlayStation.
Yeah,
I was a bit of a traitor. But yeah. I really wanted to play Uncharted after a while because it looked amazing. I watched some YouTube videos, tried watching Let's Players play it, but I'm just not a guy that can watch Let's Players. Yeah. So yeah, I saved a bit of money. I bought myself the first generation PlayStation 3, the big fat 60 gigabyte piano black one they call it, and a copy of Uncharted. And from that day forward, I've just been PlayStation fan. I still like Xbox. I'm not a fan of the Xbox One, which is a ridiculous name.
We did have one.
We did have one.
We did have one. Just to clarify, we're not just being assholes. We've tried it and it just wasn't.
I don't know if it was just our one particular Xbox, but it lagged on its own fucking menu.
Yep.
Its own dashboard.
But I also, because I had used the PS4 as well, and the fact that if I wanted to share a video or an image. I just had to press one button and then press X a couple of times and it was done. But with the Xbox, you had to like split screen the menus and like navigate a menu while the game's going on in the background, and it just won't. Yeah,
I mean, the PlayStation 4 was just the more powerful console, like by a mile.
Well, yeah, I think one major thing that put us off was there was lots of videos of comparisons between games, and every time we saw the Xbox version, the blacks were really like it looked like a GIF.
They were very crushed and disgusting. But like that's not what put me off the Xbox at all. What put me off the Xbox, because they were announced at the exact same time, and I was originally planning on getting both of them.
Yeah.
Because by the time they were announced, I'd got over the whole console war phase, and I was, even though my primary console was a PlayStation 3, I still enjoyed my Xbox 360. In fact, I still play Mass Effect on my Xbox 360 at least once a year.
We play
to this day.
COD 4 sometimes as well. No, is it Black Ops?
Black Ops, yeah. Oh yeah, Combat Train on Black Ops.
Yeah.
But the thing that turned me off Xbox, or at least Xbox One, was the whole always online thing, and not being able to share your games.
Yeah.
You remember that whole outrage where
and
fucking Sony fired back with a video entitled "How to Share Your Games on PlayStation 4," and it just had the CEO, the chairman of Sony
passing a game to his friend.
It's not. I forgot his name. Is it Miyamoto, or is that the Nintendo guy?
No, Miyamoto is
Nintendo
guy. Is it?
It's Yoshida or something?
Yeah, that's it. That is it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had the game in his hand. He just turned to the other guy and was all like, "Here you go." And the video ended.
It was so good.
Whereas on the Xbox, it was like you lend your game to your friend. He puts it in his console, and you get a little message saying, "Oh, you've got to buy this game."
What a terrible idea.
It doesn't make sense.
But that would kill a whole industry as well.
Yes, yeah. There's part of the gaming culture is lending your games out to your friends, building a massive collection and stuff like that. And
well, my colleague from work's got my copy of Horizon at the moment.
Exactly.
I wanted to talk about Horizon with him. He'd never played it, so I lent him it, and now I can.
Yeah, because like one of the best things about physical games is you build up a big library of them, and like a friend comes around to your house, and then they're like, "Oh wow, you've got a lot of games." They stand up, go to the shelf or wherever you've got them, and take a look, and then we're like, "Oh, I haven't played that game," and you're like, "Oh, borrow it, man. Yeah. I've bought it. I played it, and it's in my library now, so that other people can borrow it, or I can come back to it later." And that's one of the biggest things about it, and the fact that you can't do it on Xbox One just turned me off. So I just pre-ordered a PlayStation 4.
It's a really big deal when you're a kid as well, though. Especially for me, because in my Nintendo childhood, I had one Nintendo 64 game. I played that up until nearly the end of the GameCube, when I finally got a GameCube, because my family didn't have much money. And I only had like 3 games. And whenever I wanted a new game, I had to trade one of them in and try and get one that was worth the same amount.
Yeah.
But I had another friend who had a GameCube as well, and he constantly let me borrow his games, even though his dad was a bit of a dick about it.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Like, borrowing games when you're a kid was like the best thing ever, because like my family weren't like massively poor or anything like that. In fact, they were quite wealthy at one point. They just didn't prioritize like my gaming habit.
Yeah. So
they never bought me new games as regularly as I wanted and stuff like that. And so having a friend who would lend you games was amazing. Mm-hmm. And as a because of that, I try and lend my games out to my friends. And me and you, we
still swap games.
We swap games all the time. In fact, we've got games we don't even consider like one of us owns, and we both own it and shit like
that. We used to we used to share PlayStation accounts so we could use games from digital.
I wish they were like.
But then I got hacked by Russians, and you were like, "Nope."
It's too right, man. They tried taking money out of your account and shit, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like £250.
Yeah. So so like that's why I didn't like Xbox. But Uncharted is what got me into the PlayStation, and I still love Uncharted to this day. Like I was so excited when Uncharted 4 came out. I bought the collector's edition. But it was the collector's edition plus the Uncharted themed controller. So it was like 180 quid or something I spent on it. But I'd go back and I'd spend it again because I love...
Is this Uncharted 4?
Yeah. Uncharted 4, yeah.
I thought you were talking about Uncharted 1 again.
No, I wish I wasn't such an arsehole and I got a PlayStation from the start and I had collector's editions of all of them.
That I hate the PS3 controller, as we've said, but the Uncharted one with the like map texture on it, that was really cool.
But yeah, I mean, my first experience with Uncharted 1, I'd already seen like the first part of the game where they're on the boat and it sets up the scene and everything like that. And then a bit of the part where you go to the jungle. But like, just the first thing I remember being really impressed about was you just waded through some water, right? And you could see that his claws were damp. But to top it off at the same time, when I looked at the lower part of his back where the water went, I noticed that the fabric on his shirt was stretching as his body turned, and I was like, what the fuck? That's amazing. But like, the next thing I was impressed about was just like Nathan Drake's character. He was lovable from the start, but as soon as he got into that jungle, his character started opening up more, and he was making some quippy one-liners and stuff like that.
People are really angry about that.
What his one-liners?
Yeah, they're like, oh, why is he walking around talking to himself all the time? Like,
it's just
people get angry about.
It's for the exact same reason that the fucking big gigantic eagles didn't just fly Frodo to the mountain and fucking throw the ring in. People want a story.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could have done that, right? But there has to be a story.
There is actually a reason why they didn't, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
They were like angry at him for something that happened in the Hobbit.
Wasn't that a fan theory though? Like,
oh, maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, his one-liners is like, I'm walking around talking to himself. That's a fucking moot point, mate. But like, his one-liners are amazing.
Definitely.
My favourite one, which I'm sure is a lot of fans' favourite one, is Nolan North was playing, I think it was some tennis game or something like that with his son on Summit.
Yeah.
And his son, Nolan North even says to himself that he's not a good gamer at all, he's very bad.
Yeah.
And his son was just trouncing him. And his son, obviously being at that age where, you know, they're both unintentionally hilarious but also want to be hilarious, just came out with saying, oh, Kitty got wet. And Nolan North was like, what? Why did you say that? And he was all like, because cats don't like to get wet. And so like when he was recording lines and stuff like that, he just threw that in. And I think the developers loved it. And then obviously it became a part of Nate's, you know, quippy dialogues. And the fans loved it. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my favourite ones. And I'm so glad they brought it back in all the other games.
Yeah, totally.
Because when I was playing Uncharted 4 and he said it, I think it was an online game as well. I think we were playing online.
Yeah. And
I heard him say it. I just had a right fucking grin on my face, like yes. But yeah, the story in Uncharted, it gave me a very Indiana Jones vibe.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
Because Indiana Jones is a great movie, and
definitely
the fact that they can emulate that in a game, even when the Indiana Jones games themselves fail to emulate it, is amazing.
Apparently there's one Indiana Jones game which is really good.
Really?
I don't have any more to contribute to that sentence than that, so...
That's very surprising. We'll probably let's figure that out and play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just... And obviously, like, the only other game I think I played where you could climb around that much was, like, Assassin's Creed.
That's a topic for an angry podcast.
For an angry podcast. But yeah, just like climbing around these ruins and, you know, saying quippy one-liners, shooting guys in the face, doing puzzles. It was just, I loved it right from the start, and it's my favourite game series, like franchise to this day.
You know, talking about climbing around in Uncharted, when I got the Lost Legacy the other day, and I sat down with my girlfriend to play through it, there was like all the preamble, like walking around the streets and stuff and talking to people. Avoiding the rebels, and sort of just getting introduced into the story, and then it's like, okay, climb this, and as soon as she started climbing, I was like, oh shit, this is an Uncharted game.
Yeah,
just that feeling kicked in, like wow.
I played it before you because you were in France at the time.
Yeah.
But I messaged you like, mate, it feels so great to be back in an Uncharted game.
Yeah. That was probably that moment, right?
Yeah, just no, I think it was actually, yeah. Definitely. Like, you just done the part where you've been knocking people out. Yeah. And then you meet up with Nadine and you start jumping around and shit. I'm like, yes!
Yeah, totally.
Uncharted. And it's, like, if you go back and play Uncharted 1 after playing Lost Legacy and Uncharted 4, you can just see how far Naughty Dog have advanced.
Yeah, definitely.
They just seem like they keep getting better and better.
Mm-hmm.
Like technology-wise, like the things that they can cram into a game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure if any other company made Uncharted 4, that'd be like a fucking 100 gigabyte game or something. The amount of textures and amazing shit that's in it. Well, they managed to boil it down in what, like, fucking, was it like 40 gig or something like that?
Mm-hmm. The Uncharted 1, yeah, I don't really... I like the story, I like the characters, I like all...
You're not a fan of the gameplay?
No. Uncharted 1, specifically, I don't like the gameplay.
Yeah.
The combat in all the Uncharted games is very drawn out a lot of the time. But in the first one, it was a bit ridiculous, especially since the actual FPS element, well, TPS element, was kind of awful. The PS3 controller didn't help at all, and there was no sort of feedback to hitting people. It just it felt very disconnected. In contrast to The Last of Us and Uncharted 4, where they brought in the like hit markers. There was so much feedback from that. It just really satisfying every time you got a headshot and there's that big fucking sun burst out of the...
Yeah. In The Last of Us, it was like a whole ring of the little lines, and then in Uncharted 4, the hit markers turn orange when you get a headshot or when you kill them, I think.
I don't know, but in the Lost Legacy, if you get a headshot and it kills them, it is a full ring of little lines, and it's red. And if you just kill them and it's not a headshot, orange. It's just 4.
And it's orange.
It's 4 lines that come out in an X shape.
No, yeah, like I understand where you're coming from with the first game being like a very poor, like gameplay wise.
I also don't think the story was that good. Maybe if I'd never played the other ones, I think it was fantastic. Yeah, but I don't know. Just going from that.
I mean, I know what you mean. Like, if it was just the one game, it'd be very good. Yeah. But because you went straight from that to Uncharted 2,
and Uncharted 2 was probably, I don't know. People say it's the best story. I know you agree with that.
Before Uncharted 4, I did.
Uncharted 3 is my favourite. Before Uncharted 4.
Before Uncharted 4.
Yeah, Uncharted 4 is phenomenal. It's crazy as well because I met my girlfriend just before Uncharted 4 came out, and she's crazy about all things pirates. And I was like really hoping to get her into Uncharted with me because it was something that I was really passionate about by that point. And it turned out it was about pirates, and she was crazy mad about it as well. And she had this huge like tome about pirates from all across history. And every time we met a new pirate or found a new flag or whatever in the game, she'd like flick through this huge thesaurus about pirates and tell me everything she could. It was crazy.
But she couldn't find one about that guy that even they didn't know, and it turned out it was a fucking Easter egg for Guybrush Threepwood. Yeah. Whatever his name is. It's Guybrush Threepwood, isn't it?
Yeah, from Monkey Island, yeah.
But yeah, like the first one, story was okay. At first I was a bit annoyed that they had the whole supernatural kind of element thing.
Yeah, that bothered me a bit as well.
But after the years, I'm like, whatever, I'm into it. It's cool.
My memory's bad, as you know.
I know.
I'm not sure if in the Uncharted games the supernatural element is ever proved as scientific, or if they just say, "Oh, it's supernatural."
No, I think Naughty Dog are aware that as soon as you start like dissecting supernatural things and stuff like that, it loses its charm.
Yeah.
And,
right. Okay. Because I was playing The Lost Legacy, and there doesn't seem to be any supernatural element in that.
Not in Uncharted 4 either.
You're right.
I think because like it's very much like Naughty Dog is a living organism. Yeah. And like they've gone through the early phases like Crash Bandicoot with the children and whatnot, and then Jak and Daxter was a bit more teenager, like with its aesthetics and stuff, and then Uncharted is where like the young adults and they're like the whole young adult supernatural stuff, and then obviously now they're like 30 years old or something like that.
Yeah, and it's like a full cinematic event the entire.
Yeah, and they're not so much like Uncharted 4 didn't have any supernatural elements to it. Yeah. And now we did Lost Legacy, like you said. But I mean, I don't know.
Uncharted 2, don't they turn out that the big invincible Yeti men are
actually just like immortal men? Yeah, immortal beast.
That's what I thought.
Guys.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was that or something else.
But yeah, like, so I wasn't too happy at the start about the whole supernatural element, the supernatural twist to Uncharted 1, but throughout the whole game, I really enjoyed Nathan's character, and then Elena was like a very, very like stark contrast to him, and like Victor Goddamn Sullivan.
Victor
Oh my
Goddamn
God,
Sullivan.
I love him.
He is brilliant. He's like the uncle I never had.
Yeah, the proper seedy like thief uncle who's always on jobs and doesn't tell you where he's going. But like in Uncharted 1, the first scene that I remember thinking, wow, like that looks amazing, was where you go to you're round a corner in a jungle and there's that fucking German U-boat in the shallow water.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's amazing. German U-boat in the middle of a jungle. It reminded me of Lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lost had some especially in the early seasons.
I think Lost was probably still prominent back then.
I can't remember, but like back then it was like Lost. Like the first early seasons of Lost had like amazing like mysticism and you know, and then they fucked it all up. So yeah, the German U-boat thing reminded me of Lost, and I really enjoyed swimming over to it, realizing you can't get underneath it or on top of it, so you have to go and find a ledge to climb up and then monkey around it. Yeah. And then it was a really good way of introducing the series villains as well. The series with the game's villains. Yeah. Once you got out of the U-boat and they've got Sully held hostage, and then you think they've killed Sully, killed Sully. And then you got to escape. You run into Elena, she fucking punches you, and it's like, I've just been shot at, and now you're punching me in the face for leaving you.
Do you remember when you convinced me that Sully died?
Oh, yes.
And I believed it for so long. And then I finally got Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, and I was playing through them, expecting Sully to die in the third one, and getting super upset about it.
Because I played them all, like, I got the first game by itself. I played that, and I completed it in, like, 2 days. And then I immediately went on eBay and bought the second one. Played that in like 1 day. And then when I got the third one, so I played all three of them in like a week. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until like a year later, I think, that you finally got through playing them all.
I finally got to get in a PS3.
Yeah.
Of my own. I think that was for the YouTube channel that we did.
Yeah, but for that whole year, every time we talked about Uncharted, I always said something like, "Oh, shame about Sully dying in Uncharted 3, though." Like, oh yeah, you haven't played it yet, but like Sully dies in Uncharted 3 and stuff. And so for a whole year, I just cemented it in your head that you were gonna die. And then when he did end up not dying, you are like, you absolute arsehole.
Because you've done stuff like that before. Yeah, that was such a long, like, lasting joke. Like, I don't know, prank on me.
Yeah. I mean, the payoff wasn't even that great, but I don't know. I get an idea in my head, like, I've got to spring this along for as long as possible, and I'll do it.
I'm pretty sure a few times, like, you forgot about it, and you were, like, talking about Sully, and I was like, don't he die? And you're like, oh, yeah, this was before that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you got to be fast. You gotta save it. Yeah, that's probably one of the best pranks ever pulled on you.
Yeah. Not that we're the kind of people to... I could never be in a friendship like that where you constantly like pantsing your mates and shit like that. Like fuck people like that.
Not constantly, but if it was every now and then,
yeah,
fair enough.
But like,
no one needs to be living in constant fear that there's a prank around the corner.
Exactly. I don't get how you could actually truly be friends with somebody who's constantly humiliating you like that.
Well, what's his name? The guy from Prank v Prank, Jesse Williams, is it?
Yeah.
Like, he said that it was, a nightmare. Like, whenever he entered a room, he was constantly looking around for a camera and stuff. And he didn't know whenever she was actually angry or something terrible happened, or whether it was a prank or not. Yeah. And I couldn't live like that.
No.
And obviously, it looks like they couldn't either, because they ended up breaking them, didn't
they? Did they? I didn't know.
I don't know if they got back together, but they definitely broke up at one point and might still be broken up.
Wonder who gets the money.
Yeah. He wants to, like, direct and stuff now, I think.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I heard that as well. I think last time I heard about him, it was was it E3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
I used to hate him when he was on Prank v Prank because it was obviously
I hated the channel. I didn't hate him.
Douchebag.
I never really gave him a second thought until recently. But he seems like a really chill guy.
Yeah, he seems cool.
I'd like to chill with him. He's cool.
What does this have to do with Uncharted? How do we get to Jesse Wells?
I pranked you with,
Yeah.
I pranked you with the death of Sully, and it never really happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And in the first one, he dies but doesn't die as well.
Yeah. They're just like toying with my emotions.
It's, what's his face? Francis Drake's journal saves him, catches the bullet. But yeah, like the story, like we said a few times, wasn't exceptional. It was good. It was the second one that blew me away.
Just the opening.
I mean, all of them blew me away, but I mean, like, the second one was much more impressive how it did it. The opening scene is like the best I've ever seen in any game ever. Yeah. Where, with the exception of The Last of Us, but that was better. That was great for a different reason because it was just absolutely soul crushing and sad. But like, Uncharted 2, it starts out, you're on a train, everything looks fine, camera rotates, and you're like, what? Is he like hanging off a fucking cliff? There's blood coming off him. He falls out of the fucking train. You've got to climb all the way back up. The train starts slipping. You jump out. You're on top of a fucking cliff, and it's snowing, and you're bleeding.
Oh, also, the fucking snow sticks to your clothes.
I remember seeing the trailer for it, because after I played the first one, I watched the trailer for the second one just to bridge the gap between buying it and having it delivered.
Yeah.
And I saw it in the trailer, and I thought it was like just trailer footage, but when I played the game, I was like, no way, that was gameplay footage. Just the way it stuck to his clothes.
Yeah. And in his hair.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, it's silly now because everyone, like pretty much everyone does shit like that. But back then, you could even get a mod on Skyrim that did it. But I mean, like, fucking hell. And then just the start as well was just shocking but amazing and thrilling. And then obviously he blacks out and it goes back to like 2 weeks later sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And what's really interesting about Uncharted 2 is it follows like a formula for hero stories that's apparently closely follows like Jesus's like arc or something like that. Like a lot of hero stories start out near the water, and as they progress through the story, they like climb higher and higher and stuff like that, and get higher altitude and stuff. And it does the same in Uncharted 2. The story starts not on the cliff, like when he blacks out and he goes to how it all started. Yeah. He's at a beach, bar, and then he gets approached by Chloe and that fucking guy, or fucking name I forget.
What was his name? Fucking guy with Kibble's hair.
Yeah.
Kibble's a friend of ours.
Yeah. Less said about him, the better. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Kibble. Yeah, and so it starts out by the beach, and then by the time it fucking ends, they're all the way up on a mountain, which I thought was amazing. Yeah, it was very subtle. I didn't realize until years later. Yeah,
well, there's stuff you could go back and play Uncharted right now. You could go in my living room, download it for the next 3 hours because
you got terrible internet.
I haven't got it installed, and then play Uncharted right now, and you'd find something new. Guaranteed. Yeah. It'll be something you didn't see the last 7 times you played it.
Yeah. I played it way more than 7 times. It's one of those, I have a routine every year. At least once a year I'll watch Scrubs, I'll watch Friends, and I'll watch Malcolm in the Middle.
It's a lot of time every year.
I also I'll binge watch them.
So you also play Mass Effect 1 through 3.
I also play Mass Effect 1 through 3 once a year. I watch Avatar and The Legend of Korra once a year.
Really?
Yeah. And like Uncharted is also on the list now. It's a bit longer now because there's fucking two extra games. But I've been playing Uncharted once a year every year, so I played it quite a lot. Sometimes I play it twice a year. I know I did this last year even. I played it more than twice because I was going for the trophies and I ended up getting all the platinums for them all. And I've got all the platinums for
you played the first one all the way through in one night at my house. Yeah, for my birthday. We all got together and we ended up just sitting and watching you play Uncharted.
Yeah, well, it was the time of the night where we were all massively drunk and it started winding down and we were just all sat around. Conversation had dried up because we were all tired, and I just picked up the controller just to, I don't know, like burn time while I'm waiting for everyone to like slowly trickle off one by one to a place to sleep. You know, like I'll go sleep under the couch in that room or something like that. But so I picked it up and started playing it, and like I looked over and no one had fucking left. Everyone was just pinned watching the fucking screen.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a really good point. Like Uncharted is a fantastic game whether you're playing it or not.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's something they intended.
Yeah, there's been times where I've been playing Uncharted, and I took over a screen, and like my parents would be all like, yo, we want the TV back now, and I'm like, yeah, just all right, and let me just save after this chapter. And then, like an hour later, they're still watching it, and I'm like, yeah, keep going, keep going. It's not like that now anymore, obviously. Yeah, Uncharted 2 was a phenomenal story. They had so many good characters in it as well.
Tenzin.
I love Tenzin. Someone translated his Tibetan.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
It's really sarcastic.
Yeah.
Chloe and Cutter probably the best characters to come out of that.
Yeah.
I really liked Charlie Cutter. I was really hoping he'd be in the little spin-off with Chloe, but...
No, yeah.
Hopefully
they do another spin-off with Charlie Cutter.
Well, what I'm thinking is they're gonna... Like, this spin-off, The Lost Legacy, was to introduce a new duo. Because, like I said to you the other day, they never said this is our last Uncharted game.
No, they said this is
Nathan Drake's last adventure.
Last adventure, yeah.
So
like, even all the promotional stuff and the tagline was like, was it Thief's End or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
It was all about the end of Nathan Drake.
So I'm really hoping that they were just like, hey, what do you think of this duo?
Yeah.
And everybody loves them. So they'll make a fucking main game and we'll have Charlie Cutter back.
Yeah.
It's sick. I feel like it's touching on a trend at the moment of female empowerment. I don't have a problem with it, but I felt like at certain points in the game, like they went a bit off track to sort of push. Just to
solidify, female power and how it's powerful. And it was like, we know we're all about equality now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when she was going to give someone a leg up. And she was going to give Sam a leg.
Yeah.
And then she was all like, nah, we've got this.
Yeah. No, that happened a few times. I don't think that was about female empowerment. No, I think that was just for the laugh at Sam's expense.
Maybe, yeah. But no, yeah. I've always liked a strong female lead in movies and TV series and games.
Well, yeah, when there's a choice to play as a male or a female.
I always play as female.
And the reason for that is... games like Call of Duty and Gears of War and Halo and everything, they always have a male protagonist
who grizzly male.
Yeah, he's grizzly and he don't give a fuck about nothing. And
they're always bold as well.
Yeah, and the invincible and the untouchable and stuff. But female characters always have more emotion to them. That seems like I'm digging at females, but I feel like the best male characters touch on emotions as well. Like Nathan Drake definitely does.
Yeah.
So I feel like, well, no, that's why I always play as a female, because then in my head
I started playing as a female. I probably played as a female when I was younger because I was just an edgy little teen with too much
testosterone.
Testosterone.
I
was like proper horny and was like, oh look, thick thighs save lives.
Look at them pollies.
Yeah. Oh, look at those little pyramid boobs on Lara Croft.
Lara Croft. That's our drawing challenge this week.
What draw?
Our creative challenge. Create Lara Croft. Send it to
Lara
us.
from Mass Effect as Lara Croft.
At UT2cast.
Yes.
On Twitter.
But yeah, I started playing female characters because of Mass Effect. I don't even know the voice actor's name for the male Shepard, but he did an okay job. I just think that Jennifer Hale did a much better job.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed her vocal performance.
That's a really big
way
part
more.
of it.
And so like I started playing female characters because of that.
I think Mass Effect is when I started playing female characters.
Yeah. And it just stuck with me then. Like, I don't go into thinking, oh yeah, the female voice actors are better than male voice actors. It's just I've just got so used to playing as a female character because of Mass Effect, and I've played it so many times that I just play as females now. I mean, I may always make a male character as well, but like my first playthroughs are probably females.
Well, like when we were playing Destiny, I had 2 females and 1 male.
Yeah. Plus, I really appreciate a strong female character.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
really do. Better than strong male characters. Like strong male characters are dime a fucking dozen.
Yeah, they're always kind of douchey as well, like really confident about it. But the women are like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this," and then they kick ass, and it's like, "Yeah, that's sick. That's relatable. That's actually relatable."
It is, yeah. But like, yeah, I prefer a strong female lead over a strong male lead any day of the week because, like I said, they're a dime a fucking dozen.
Yeah.
Whereas female leads, it's very unique that they're in a unique place where they can make that character stand out and have something different about them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas every male character is like age 30, bald head, average around 6'1" or something like that, muscular, very like fucking, straight to the point and stuff like that. Maybe throw a one-liner every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know how we've gone on the.
I don't know. We've gone a very long way, but we were talking about Uncharted 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I was talking about them introducing Chloe and Co.
Yeah. So like Chloe's a strong lead. So is Elena. But I don't think she started out strong, which I think is really great. Like the character progressions in Uncharted games, are the best ones I've seen in games.
Elena is it Elena?
Elena, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. She she goes through some massive changes.
Yeah.
Like at first she's really dependent on Nate. And kind of scared of the environment, and in the second one she's like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go report a war zone."
The first one she's looking for a break on because she's been a journalist or like a reporter thing all like from the start, but like she was in a dead end TV channel position, like historical, like history wise even like the channel it was.
Yeah, she was trying to get a show funded, wasn't she, about Nate's expedition.
Well, not Nate's expedition, but just like any history-themed thing. And when someone called her up and was like, "Yo, I've got a lead on Francis Drake's coffin, the real like coffin and stuff like that," she obviously jumped at it. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, she's very fish out of water in that game. She's following Drake around a lot and stuff, and I mean, she can climb and she shoots and stuff, but her performance it kind of gives you the aspect like she's never done this before, and she's learning on the job.
Yeah, only in sort of cinematic scenes though, because when it got to the point where there's an impossible jump and Nate only just makes it and she just does it easily for the sake of gameplay, or you're in a fight and it's really intense but so that she don't get in the way of gameplay, her character just completely shuts down, which was a bit immersion breaking, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah, and it was for the sake of not frustrating the players.
Yeah.
Same reason why the non-players in Last of Us aren't detected by the infected. Because they are loud.
Yeah. What was that guy? Bill. With the fucking huge boots that was stomping past clickers all the time.
Stompy boots. Henry, when you first meet him, you got to stealth that section just to get towards the bridge at night. We kill these guys, and there's a big stack of empty glass bottles, right? And he throws his body right on top of them after Jewel killed them. And I'm like, fuck's sake, someone's gonna have heard that. So I jump over there's a desk in the room that we're in, and there's a fucking monitor on the desk, right? And he fucking jumps over right in front of the monitor and just kicks the monitor off the desk. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm glad no one can hear you, prick. But yeah, like she's Nate helps her a lot in the first game. She's very dependent on him. Mm-hmm. In the second game, she's gone off on her own and she's reporting on a fucking very dangerous guy with nothing but a cameraman as backup. She didn't have weapons or anything like that. She's just in the middle of a war zone. Yeah. With her, tight pants and tight shirt. Yeah. And her assault towards Nathan Drake, and that's the only thing that was defending her.
And I think Nathan and Chloe had a really good relationship as well, but I'm glad it wasn't the relationship. Yeah. Like, it was nice to see him go through...
They're too similar.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been a very good...
It was nice to see that... I don't know, like, if it was just that one relationship with Elena the whole game, it would be less relatable, I feel like.
It was a bit refreshing, like, but then obviously they meet up, and obviously straight from the point, like, you can tell Nathan Drake was never over Elena, and she was never over him. Yep. And then Chloe kind of, like, just gets pushed to the side. Yeah. And I think she realises it, because by the end of the game, she's like, she knows that she's no longer with Drake. Mm-hmm. And I think she was using him anyway, but I mean, yeah. So in the second game, Elena's very dependent. off by herself, and then she meets up with Drake, and she's like sucked back into this world
Yeah.
again, which she secretly loves.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the third game, they're fucking broken up again.
Yeah.
But she's off doing her own shit again, and then gets sucked back in.
Yeah.
But all she cares about in the third game is like obviously making sure that Sully stays alive, because she thinks it's unfair that Sully at his age is running around with Nathan Drake, who's still very young and wants to do all this dangerous shit.
In the fourth one, they settled down. They finally got a life together, and Nate feels like she's holding him back a bit.
I don't think it's that she's holding him back. He don't see it that way. Like,
no, yeah,
he wants her to give her a normal life. He's holding himself back.
Yeah, that's it. So he sort of lies to her.
Yeah.
And she feels a bit betrayed by that, so she goes to save him. And there's that scene which we talked about, which is our favourite.
Our favourite scene is where you've just found Avery's house.
Yeah.
It's been like a year, so it's not a massive spoiler.
Uh-huh.
But if it is a spoiler alert, then like maybe just
spoiler alert.
Skip ahead
to 5 minutes or so.
Yeah. So our favourite scene is where you just found Avery's mansion. You go inside, you go upstairs, and there's you walk in a room. There's a table.
Yep.
With all these skeletons around it.
Yeah.
And you realise that these skeletons are all of the world's most famous pirates.
Yeah.
And they all died in this room at the same time, and nobody knows about it.
Except
you
and Elena.
Yeah, no one's been there since they died.
Yeah.
Except you and Elena. And that was just, for me, it was a very powerful moment, because I dream of like seeing things that no one's ever seen before. I'd love to be an explorer like 200 years ago.
Yeah.
Or exploring space. I was born way too early and way like at the wrong time. Like I should have been born earlier or later.
Mm-hmm.
Way too early for space exploration. Too late for like exploring the world. Unless I'm talking about the ocean. But who wants to go down there? There's some right creepy fish in there. So yeah, like they're just entered this room. No one's ever seen it. It's a fucking fantastic moment. And then to add to it, like Drake is obviously in such like wonderment of what he's just seen, like, and his face lights up, and it's like a child at Christmas.
Yeah.
And Elena sees it, and it's kind of like she's no longer angry at him about lying.
Yeah,
because
totally
he knows that
understands.
it's what he lives for, and secretly, like, you know, she kind of lives for it as well.
Yeah. I think that's the moment where she realised that all the times that she ended up back with Drake were because of these great adventures.
And she kind of realised as well, like, for Drake and all that, like that life is normal. It's what they wanted, and trying to limit themselves to just a suburban life that's very bland and stuff was the wrong thing to do.
Fishing in rivers and shit.
Yeah. So yeah, probably cut with the spoiler talk there. I mean, it's been a year, but
yeah. Well, yeah. I think that because up until that point, they're sort of in a mood.
Yeah.
Really. Well, Nathan's like a dog that's just been told off.
Yeah.
And she's very moody in like a way that all people that are in a relationship can relate to.
Yeah.
And then that scene happens, and suddenly it's just gone. Like they're both just as excited as each other.
There's that scene as well that I really liked, where they just started that elevator, that big old elevator, and they take a long ride up, and they just stood watching the view, and they're just talking about the relationship and stuff. Yeah. I mean, you don't come to a game to hear people talk about relationship stuff.
It's so unique.
But the fact that they did it and you actually were engaged in it and stuff, it was very, very good. So yeah, the character arcs in the games I really love. I really love the exploration things. The puzzles aren't complicated, but they were good enough for the game, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's got to be the story that I love the most about Uncharted.
Well, I'm a very visual person because I'm a graphic designer. Yeah. So I love the visual.
I love visuals as well.
Well, yeah. The story is my favourite thing about Naughty Dog games, current Naughty Dog games. But I'm not sure if I would. But it definitely helps that the games are so beautiful, that they've got so much talent.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the things that draws me towards them the most, is just how beautiful the games are. the first moment when I saw The Last of Us, not even on PS4 or on PS3 at your house, that's like one of my all-time favorite memories. Just
yeah, The Last of Us.
When you got it, you got the collector's edition, and your sister let us use her TV.
Yeah, so
we sat over there and played it like all night.
I bought it wasn't the collector's edition. It was a game exclusive edition because I don't think England got a collector's edition.
Right. Okay. It was pretty much a collector's edition. The amount of shit you got with it.
I had to get quite a few shit. I still got all that as well. But it came in like a canvas wrap thing, and I got the LED edition.
Mm-hmm. Obviously,
she's like the star of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she let us. She only lived across the road as well, and she went out to Download Festival, I think it was.
Yeah, so she wasn't coming home.
She wasn't coming home, and so we went over there, used the big TV and whatnot. We just played for hours, didn't we?
Yeah.
We played. There was a problem on that day though, wasn't there? The servers weren't working properly. I think it saved data or something like that.
Oh yeah, there was a problem with save data.
Yeah.
And you went to save the game, but it said saving and it won't let you save.
Yeah. I can't remember if it ended up fucking me over or not.
I know. I think it did.
Not that I cared. Anyway, I'd gladly go through it all.
I think you did end up having to play it again.
But like we saved after a while, didn't we? And it obviously didn't save. But then we went on to multiplayer, I think.
Yeah. The multiplayer is really good.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favourite multiplayer games.
I think most people must have been enthralled in the game, the story, and just carried on playing. So there weren't many people playing multiplayer. And I think the people that were playing multiplayer weren't particularly skilled. And I remember just absolutely dominating.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Especially since we'd just spent like 6 hours getting used to the controls.
Yeah. Got a platinum trophy for that as well.
Yeah. I didn't get around to that. I love Naughty Dog games, but I'm just not. I just can't. Don't have the time to spend to platinum in them.
Yeah, well, we played online last year, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Because there's 2 trophies. One for completing the Firefly storyline. Well, the 12 weeks that you play as a Firefly in the online, and then 12 weeks for the Raiders. Mm-hmm. Did you get both of those trophies as well? Because I know obviously that I did.
I feel like I didn't get the Raiders one. That we ended up not being able to do it, probably because of uni or something, and you just went and finished it yourself. Right.
Maybe. But yeah, like, there's a really interesting multiplayer, I think. And, like, Naughty Dog aren't really known for the multiplayer, I don't think. I mean, did Uncharted...
They do a really good job of it, though.
Did Uncharted 2 have multiplayer? I can't remember. Probably did. I don't think Uncharted 1 did.
3 did.
Uncharted 3
was like survival mode, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then Last of Us had it, which was amazing. I loved the scavenging and like trying to outthink your opponent.
Yeah, I know. It was so genius.
Yeah, it really slowed it down as well. There were people that tried, cheating the system and like getting the most powerful and fastest gun and just armoring up and just running in doing suicide runs and trying to like fucking kill everyone in one go, like Call of Duty. But then the best battles they had were the people like me who like slowed it down and tried to. Predict what the person was going to do next and like outmaneuver us and stuff, and those were the best fights I had in that game.
Definitely. I wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very tactical, but I usually would just stick to you and just make sure nobody came up behind us.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at multiplayer games. I think my biggest trait in video games is finding shit. Yeah. Because while everybody's off shooting each other, I'm like, I just saw a chest over there.
Like in Destiny?
No.
Yes.
No.
So in Destiny...
No.
It was the early levels, right? It was like first week playing it, I think, right? So we weren't particularly high leveled, and we were going through the storyline, weren't we? I think on hard mode or something, because we wanted extra XP and we didn't feel confident doing strikes. So for some reason, we were going through it all right. And we get to this part, I can't remember what the name of the places that we were in, but there's like loads of dregs and captains and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It would have been fine for us both to kill them off easily, but I realise I'm just shooting them all by myself. I'm looking around, I can't really see Connor, and then I just hear her over the microphone like, "Oh, there's a chest here." So while I'm getting my ass handed to me and I'm about to die and stuff, Connor is just looting. Which is...
You act like that is like a one-off event, but that was like 90% of the time you were playing Destiny, I was off looting shit.
Yeah. Any game where you can loot, I can guarantee I'll be trying to keep everyone alive and play the game and kill shit, and Connor will be like in the corner going, ooh, shiny.
Do you know, I might have some sort of ADHD.
Maybe.
I don't know, I'm just really good at spotting things like that and knowing where to look.
Yeah.
Our friend David's a bit like that. I won't
Shout
say
out to David.
Yeah, shout out to David. I won't say he immediately knows where to look, but like in games like Destiny or Halo, as soon as he finds a new area, he can spend like 4 hours just wandering around trying to find areas he shouldn't be in and trying to glitch out of the game and stuff. He's really good for that. Like in popped up on my timeline memory on Facebook the other day. A video that he shared to us. What was it called? When you did I can't remember what the event was called. Trials of Osiris.
Yeah.
When you did that, you got to go to the lighthouse.
Yeah, the lighthouse.
The first time we went there, we all got there together and we're like, oh, this is sick. We grabbed our treasure and left. And like I was at uni and you were working or something.
Yeah.
And then we get home and David's like, oh, I spent 4 hours in the lighthouse. I found this little camp underneath it.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it turned out it was like that fucking warlock that studies the... Who was it he studied? Was it the... I forgot what they're called. The Fallen. Not the Fallen, the Hive.
Yeah.
Like he went there and that was his camp or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like the Easter egg or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love the Trial of Osiris. It's about that time of the year again where all our videos are put up on Facebook get reshared.
Yeah, that's happening
this,
for me as
this day 2 years ago thing.
Yeah.
And it was a video where I was playing on a warlock character and we were in the Trials of Osiris and we were just about to lose because you got killed, obviously.
You should put that on our Twitter.
Yeah. But you got killed, obviously. David realised that because you got killed and then I didn't have you back me up, and that was like my whole plan for you to have you back me up. And so I died shortly after, and David realised that. He just went and tried kamikazing him with shotguns. With his shotgun, I think, and he went down. And I obviously had my resurrect ability ready, and I was like, fuck this, mate, I'm sick of losing. So I was rezzed. Fucking a guy was right next to me. I face palmed him and just incinerated. I killed the next guy, and then I got David up, and I lost track of the third guy. But David knew exactly where it was. And he chased him down and shotgunned him in the spine or something. Brilliant.
Obviously, I was completely useless.
Yeah, whenever like we all got downed and one of us got rezzed and got the next person up, you were the last person to be revived.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not the best at multiplayer games, but I was there sort of as backup.
Yeah, I mean, when you played Destiny, you got really good with it.
I did.
Really good.
Well, actually, immediately playing Destiny, I was kind of good at it because of how much we played Halo 3.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of the same...
Just with an aim-down sight mechanic.
It was just so easy to pick up and get good at. Anyway,
like,
we're going to do a Destiny podcast, but this isn't it.
Like, Uncharted is also very easy to pick up and get into.
Nice segue.
It's very lame segue.
I will point out your segue.
And the latest one, I think, is like, it's not a full-on, like, 40-hour game.
Ooh, you talking about Lost Legacy?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about spoilers and shit like that.
Okay.
But the newest one, it's like maybe 12-hour game? Maybe less?
I think I did it in less. I don't imagine that was 12 hours at all.
If you like first playthrough, maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe 8 hours.
I think I went out to buy it at 11 and I finished it around 9 o'clock. And that was with some breaks in between.
Yeah. So it's not like a... But it's... I feel like it expands more upon what the fourth one did. With like, cause you can take photos, which was like
and you
an
can
extra...
change your expression and stuff.
Yeah. Like the GATS area is much bigger to explore. You don't have to do everything in the same order.
GATS?
Yeah, the Western GATS, is that what it's called?
Is that what it was called?
I'm sure it was.
I thought it was some sort of abbreviation.
I'm sure it's called the Western GATS.
Well, no, that's fine.
But yeah, like that was bigger than the other areas, the other area in the fourth
Well, there was Madagascar in the fourth one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And that was way bigger.
But that was like split up into segments, wasn't it?
Yeah, also, the only thing to look for there was sort of like the usual treasures and some
like you
cairns to knock over.
You also have to do everything in an order, whereas in the Lost Legacy one, there's 3 things you have to go.
It was like a mini Zelda game, actually.
Yeah, it was like there was 3 things you had to go and do, but you could do them in any order you wanted.
Yeah, and there was a 4th thing that you could do
optionally. Yeah. I feel like it just expanded more upon what the Uncharted games are.
I think that was most of the gameplay. That area.
Because the story is very much the same.
There's also I won't be specific, but at the end there's a big homage to Uncharted 2.
Yeah.
Probably the most frustrating part of Uncharted 2.
If you're doing it on grounded difficulties. Is it ground? Did they have grounded? I think it was. No, there's crushing. Grounded was Last of Us. They had crushing, and then they released DLC, which was brutal.
Yeah.
I haven't done the brutal one yet because you don't need to do it to get the platinums. But I did them all on crushing.
Uncharted 4 had a really disappointing thing where you could do crushing and still get the trophy if you had cheats on.
Yeah, I didn't even realise that. Like, cause I got the platinum for Uncharted in like a day and a half.
Yeah. I was in France. I was in France when you got Uncharted 4, and you platinumed it before I got back. And then I was in France this year when The Lost Legacy came out, and you platinumed that before I got back.
Yeah, I did it in like a day and a half. So like, I went through crushing, bare bones. Got it was so frustrating. I did it quite fast to say it was frustrating, but like, when you died, it was annoying. And then you get back. I think you did it on crushing. I was giving you pointers like, best places to hide and stuff like that, and don't get too ahead of yourself. And then you just flicked the switches, the fucking cheats on, and you was like, mate, you can just do it with infinite ammo and slow-mo.
I read it online. I didn't do crushing straight away.
No, not straight away.
I did. I think it was hard first.
Yeah.
And then I played it through on easy. I can't remember why. I think me and Candice just wanted to go through story again because it's just fantastic. And then I was like, fuck it, I'll go for trophies. Didn't get the platinum, but I did do it on crushing by cheating.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that was the thing. I did it without any cheats, and it was soul crushing.
Yeah, like there's no recognition for it either.
No, and then you went through and did it on cheats, and you got the trophy for it.
I don't know.
Did it with
feel bad for you.
Slow motion aim and infinite ammo, was it?
Slow motion aim got annoying. But you could turn auto lock on and have infinite ammo, and you could also summon whatever weapon you want.
Auto lock's not even a cheat; it's an accessibility option.
So there's like a one-shot pistol. Is it the Desert Eagle, or is there another one that's a bit bigger?
No, there's another one that's a bit bigger. It's like a big Magnum.
Yeah, I used that. So you can cheat that in, and then put it on infinite ammo. Put it on infinite reload. So
I know, because like after you told me that, I loaded it up and I went in crushing mode and just like played it a little bit with cheats, and I was like, this is fucking easy. Played it for like 5 hours and I didn't die once.
To be fair, I still struggled in some combat areas.
Yeah, I reckon
it was easy to die.
The part with all the train of cars that you got to jump from one and the other, but that was really hard, difficult. Everything else, every other fight would have been amazing. It looked easy.
There was another bit. When you come up to that big mural.
Yeah.
With Sam and Sully.
Yeah.
It's in like a big circular room, and there's some like pillars and rubble and stuff. And then once you're done looking at the mural, some huge shotgun guys drop down.
No, you are with Sully, aren't you? Because Sully's in Madagascar.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about much later on.
No. And these huge armoured guys, I think they're called turtles or something, don't they?
I don't know, but like they were basically the juggernauts.
Yeah. And they had massive shotguns. I struggled with that.
Yeah.
Like, even from a distance, they were one-shotting me with shotguns. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You really want to play the first game on crushing.
I really don't.
That, seriously, that'll put hairs on your chest, mate. Fucking... There's a video of that on my Facebook as well, where it was the last enemy. It was a big room, and like the fucking enemies are everywhere. And there was the last one, right? And I was using the corner method where you can stand behind a corner, and technically you're hidden completely behind that, right? But because your aiming reticle is not behind the thing and it's aiming at other people, it like shoots through the object. It shoots where the reticle is and not from the start of the gun.
Yeah.
So using that because it was the only way that you can do it properly. And there was this one enemy, I couldn't fucking see him, right? So I came out of the cover for like, I swear down, it was like 0.5 seconds, right? and he shot me. One shot, killed instantly.
Wow.
And that was like fucking 8th, maybe 10th time I did it. I was so angry, mate. I could feel my controller just like crackling in my hands, like, you know, strained from like the pressure I was putting on it. I did it though, and it feels good when you do complete it on crushing mode, and you know it's the last trophy you've got to get, and it's like crushing trophy, and then that goes away, and then immediately platinum. I'm like, yes, because I love chasing the platinum trophies.
Yeah.
40 now.
You got 40 now, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think I've got 10.
You do. It slowed down for a while. I started off with 3.
You got 30 in a year, didn't you?
Yeah, I got 3 that was very unintentional. One of them was playing through the Walking Dead series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. One was Destiny.
That wasn't unintentional. That we went in with it because we played it for like 2 years straight, and we were like, if we're going to play this game so much, we should have the platinum. So we went to get it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't completely unintentional. I want trophy hunting. We just all decided like, oh, it'd be nice to have the platinum.
Yeah.
Just for like the completionist sake, because it was all about completing Destiny basically, like getting every exotic and all that shit, and part of the trophies were just part of that. And I forgot what the other one was. That was unintentional. But then like
probably on Vita or something.
I don't know. But I've always said like I want to chase trophies. Yeah. And like everyone around me seemed to have started doing the hobby, and our friend Jamie, shout out to Jamie, he started doing it as well. Yeah. So I think I started just before Christmas.
2015?
Yeah, 2015. And by like summer, I'd got like 27 platinum trophies or something. And then it kind of stopped for a little bit. Yeah. And it's taken me a year to like get 10 more to get it to 40. But I plan on like kicking it back up again. And, like, my goal is to. I'm like in the top 12,000 for my country.
That's how many clients my company has.
Yeah, my country. So my goal is to get in at least top 10,000 for the trophy score. So yeah, probably keep you updated on that. Yeah, should be good.
We completely skimmed over Uncharted 3, by the way. We didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah, well, I was going to mention when you said it that a lot of people don't like Uncharted 3.
Yeah, I know. I don't. That was my favourite one. I love the story. I love that we go back and we see Nate as a kid, and
well, I think the developers
section was a bit.
The developer said it to themselves. Like they think people don't like it as much because they came off of Uncharted 2, which was a very strong game. And while Uncharted 3 is not as good as Uncharted 2, if Uncharted 2 never existed, Uncharted 3 would still be an exceptional game. Mm-hmm. And it's a very, very good game. It's a bit darker, I think, than the second one.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it just got more... It touched on more emotional subjects.
Yeah.
Like it got more into the characters than the story.
No, yeah, I like it. They changed up the shooting mechanics in the third one, which always throws me off.
So much better, though. It's so much better.
Yeah, but like you get used to in Uncharted 1 and 2, shooting where the enemy's going to be. I think. Or no, shooting where the enemy is.
And then Uncharted 2, you got
to shoot where they're gonna be. And it's very much like Uncharted 1 and 2. You had like a reticle circle, and the bullet could land anywhere in there, and it could like come out of the gun like fucking sideways practically. Yeah. Whereas in Uncharted 3, I think they've programmed it so that it always comes flying out of the gun straight, and it was easy to aim. Yeah. But like when you got so used to like
less down to chance.
Yeah, you got so used to like half of the guy's head being in your reticle in 1 and 2 that when you shot, it was still a headshot anyway. But like in the third one, it had to be perfectly in the middle of that reticle for it to be a headshot. Like at least part of his head had to be. And so it still throws me off now when I play through 1 and 2 and then go 3. My aim's all over the place. Yeah. It's fucking awful, and I can't kill anyone. I'm wasting bullets.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
But yeah, I like the third one as well. Like it's not my favourite. I think out of the first 3, my favourite's the second one. But like Uncharted 4 I think has just taken the spot of my favourite Uncharted game altogether.
Um,
We haven't talked about the Vita one.
oh, fuck the Vita one.
It's worth talking about.
Oh, mate, it's not worth talking about.
It was alright. It was okay. To say it wasn't developed by Uncharted, it was okay. It was an okay homage to
You mean Naughty Dog?
Yeah, Naughty Dog. That's what I said.
Okay.
The listeners will back me up on this one. They'll go back and rewind
if that's what he said, tweet at UT2cast. That's what Ash said.
Connor's a big ginger knob.
Yeah, tweet that at UT2cast.
The Jonge. No, I thought it was alright. It was okay. For a Vita title, it was okay.
No, actually, you're right. I really enjoyed it because I was stuck looking after my mum's dog away from my computer and my consoles and stuff, and all I had was my Vita for like 2 weeks.
Plus, it was a free game. It was on PS Plus. So.
Yeah, exactly. It was alright. I don't remember much about it. There's nothing memorable about it. The story wasn't exactly fantastic.
I remember the name of the girl that helped you out, your little sidekick, was Marissa, I think.
What?
And
what sidekick? There was an exclusive character to that game.
Yeah, do you know how? Yeah, she was a new character and she was exclusive to that game. She's like with you the whole journey in it. I think she's called like Marissa or something like that.
I don't remember at all.
I remember in the 4th game, I was looking around the attic at the beginning, and there's a box with a post-it note on it that says "Send to Marissa Chase" or something like that. I was like, oh, that's the girl from the Vita game.
No way. How did that come about? How did Naughty Dog say, yeah, use our precious...
They probably wanted to boost
IP.
sales for the Vita, and Uncharted is very popular, so maybe that's how it came
guess
about.
Sony had more control over that than Naughty Dog.
Yeah. Although, credit to Sony, they let Naughty Dog do what the fuck they want when they want. They don't micromanage them at all.
They don't push PR for the games either.
Yeah.
They're like...
They let
I
Naughty
really
Dog...
love Naughty Dog's PR approach.
They let Naughty Dog handle their own shit and do things how they want, which I really, really appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like with The Last of Us, they announced it with sort of like a little CGI trailer, and it looked good. But then like you didn't hear anything for ages, and then they showed a little bit of gameplay footage. I don't even think it was at E3. Yeah, it was at E3. They showed a little bit of gameplay footage, and then you heard nothing until like the week that it was coming out. And I really liked that because it didn't spoil anything, and the hype just built organically. There was none of this like fucking augmented reality game
Watch
shit
Dogs.
or hyping shit up. Like Watch Dogs is the most hyped fucking failure ever, mate. Hated that. Bought the fucking like £80 collector's edition.
I think it was more than that.
Was it more?
I got it as well.
That has got to be my biggest like buyer's remorse.
Yeah, totally agree. It's weird because at the time there was a bigger version and like it came with a hat and shit, and I was like, oh, we should have got that one. Yeah. And then the game sucked.
Bought into the hype so much of that, and I mean,
I'll never trust Ubisoft again.
No, never. Yeah, I sold like some of my collector's editions that I no longer cared about, like Destiny collector's edition. So it was less about the stuff and more about the game.
Have you sold it?
Yeah,
I've still got mine.
I didn't care about it.
I like the Stranger's Coin.
I liked it, but
not Stranger's Coin. What's it called? Strange Coin.
Strange Coin. I liked it. It just it wasn't. It didn't feel enough for a collector's edition. The price that we paid for it, because we bought the game first, £40. Then we bought the season pass, which was like another fucking £30 or something, like 20 quid, 25
and then if we wanted the collector's items, which we did because we were huge fans of it, we had to buy the game
with
again.
the 2 DLCs as well. And it didn't feel worth it in the end, so I just sold it. But the point is, right, I tried selling my collector's edition of Watch Dogs, but no one wants it. I've still got it. It just sat in the fucking corner of my room.
It's not even that good. Why did we want a statue of
Aiden Pierce, the blandest
character? I almost
said
Alan Wake.
Well, that was a great game.
I couldn't get into that.
I really loved it.
That was back when you used to burn games.
Yeah.
Shout out to
piracy
and stuff.
Allegedly burnt games to dual layer discs and allegedly put them in flashed Xboxes. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we talked about Last of Us, haven't we?
Yeah. Just thinking. I don't understand what it is about me that I prefer Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 2.
Probably, I don't know.
Maybe it's the graphics. Maybe I'm just that kind of guy.
Yeah, maybe you're just superficial as fuck and you love graphics over content.
Well, what I genuinely think it is the character development, the focus on the characters, over what's going on around them.
By the time the third one came around, they were very much near the end of their arcs, so maybe that's why. Yeah, I want to talk more about The Last of Us because I go backwards and forwards, but like it's one of my favorite. Like it's either my favorite game or like it's close to it. But I go back and forth on it.
I used to say it's the best game ever.
Yeah.
I disagree with that now. I'm a bit more mature.
Yeah, like there's no best game ever. It's subjective, but
for me, I think it is. No, I'm gonna say I think it is the best cinematic experience.
Yeah. What's that guy? The French guy's name? David Cage. Sorry, David Cage, but Naughty Dog does it better. The guy who does Quantic Dream. He does fucking. He did Heavy Rain, Indigo Prophecy. I actually really liked Indigo Prophecy, and then fucking Beyond Two Souls, which apparently was atrocious. I quite liked.
I didn't play
Heavy Rain a bit.
I watched someone on YouTube play it. It was alright, I suppose. This is something that people complain about Uncharted. They're like, "Oh, it's not a game; it's just a movie." But
there's guys out there who I think it's called David Cage. I'm just gonna keep saying it. David Cage, who fucking head of Quantic Dream, who literally tries to make
interactive movies, and he calls it that.
Yeah,
he's not shy about it. He doesn't try and disguise it as a game.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I agree with it. Like, The Last of Us is like probably the best cinematic game. And I think that's kind of like that's obviously what Naughty Dog are going for, like the whole cinematic experience, because like movies influence them a lot. I think they've even said that themselves, and I think that's probably why. And yeah,
well, I think
it also. I reckon it's because of the acting as well. Yeah. Ashley Johnson, she's called, plays Ellie, and Troy Baker, my man crush. They do very well, very very well.
I think Naughty Dog aren't concerned about being seen as a cinematic experience over being seen as a video game. I think what their thoughts are is this is our medium. This is our unique experience. Which is you play the game. If you played Last of Us, you've played all 4 Uncharted, right?
Yeah.
You know they're by Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
And then you play Last of Us. Never played it before. You didn't see the Naughty Dog logo at the start. You were blinded for a few seconds. You play through the game for like half an hour, and you'd be like Googling, was The Last of Us made by Naughty Dog?
Yeah. No, yeah.
You'd be able to tell.
They have a very distinct style, I think.
Yeah.
And you can tell when it's they made a game. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. I think I was going to say something about how it's just they're not afraid to like try new things as well. Like Bill, he was like a gay character.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise until like my 5th playthrough. I was like, he's fucking gay.
Ellie as well.
And Ellie was. I don't know if she was like straight up gay.
I think she was just experimental.
Yeah, she's at that age.
Yeah.
Everyone else is a dickhead around her. Humanity is fucking dying.
Mm-hmm.
The only the consistent person in her life was it Riley? Who just happened to be a female. So maybe it was just like a moment of confusion and whatnot. But they're not scared of trying new things. Like Bill, he was gay, but he wasn't like like how media portrays gay people, like very flamboyant and girly. He was fucking manly as shit. He was rugged as fuck, and so it took. And
they didn't make a big deal about how he was gay either.
No, yeah, exactly. It wasn't like I'm gay. This is me. I'm the gayest person alive. Like he wasn't.
Ellie found some magazines, and then you find that note, which is I think that's optional, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the collectibles.
Yeah.
You find the note, and then you go off of how we talked about the guy. Frank, I think the guy's name was.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Talks, the way he talks about him, like I think they were romantically like connected.
Yeah.
But like because he was so rugged, I didn't see it. And like even when she got the magazine and she was like, "Whoa, that guy's dick is huge. How does he walk around with that thing?"
Yeah.
I was like, maybe he just collects things that he finds out in the world, and he didn't collect it because it was sexual stimulation. It was just he had a stack of magazines he was going to go through with later or something like that. Because he did collect shit. He was a bit of a hoarder, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I thought that was it. I didn't think it was keeping it because it was his material.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took me like 5 playthroughs for it to all click properly. I was like, no fucking way. I'm such an idiot. But yeah, I really like that. And like the whole, I think a lot of people would have shied away from having to escort Ellie around the wasteland.
Yeah.
Because up until then, also Bioshock Infinite did it really well as well. AI escort shit was always the
awful.
They're almost as bad as water levels in games.
Yeah.
But they did it really well. And I think part of the reason that let them do it is because they decided early on to not have the character show up on the enemy's radar.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think a big part of it was the focus of the game was this relationship between you and an AI.
Yeah.
Well, not story-wise.
No, yeah. I mean, it sounds cliche as fuck. I'm sure many people have said it, but like there was genuine moments in the game where I forgot that it was just a game and that she didn't really exist.
Yeah.
It was the giraffe scene.
It was
for
really...
me.
Yeah, totally. You genuinely felt protective of this bit of coding.
Yeah.
Well, just a lot of coding.
Yeah, some zeros and ones.
Yeah.
And a very good performance from Ashley Johnson.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the giraffe scene and the scene where she was like almost raped and murdered by David, I think it was called.
Yeah.
It was Nolan North. I didn't hear it at all.
What?
It's Nolan North, man.
No.
Yes.
How'd they get him in for such a small role?
I don't know, man. He does so many things for so many video games.
If there was one man on this planet who you had to have sex with... No, if you had to have sex with a man and you had to pick someone, and it could be anyone, it would probably be Nolan North, right?
Troy Baker for me, mate. You've seen him. He's got that voice. He's fucking talented as shit, and he looks like a supermodel. So Troy Baker.
Fair shout.
But yeah, and so that the scene where she was like almost raped by a thing, and that's where I kind of forgot that she wasn't a real person.
Yeah.
That she, I forgot that she was an AI.
Yeah, and you get like really like fuck no, not.
Yeah,
AI.
I'm like proper. I didn't give a shit about the enemies. I was just charging past them, and then she kills him, and he like hugs her, and I'm all like, I cannot believe I'm on this side of the screen.
Yeah.
I need to get in there and soothe her fucking pain and torment. And then the next scene after that, like she's still upset about it and she didn't know how to fucking process it and shit like that. And it properly just break your heart. You're like, fucking hell. So big up to fucking Naughty Dog for being able to achieve that.
Yeah, being fearless about it as well.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely.
Fascinating. Uncharted. Last of Us 2.
Yeah, Last of Us 2. We've had a tiny sneak peek.
A tiny CGI trailer with a fucking brilliant CGI trailer when she picks up the guitar, she tunes it, and she plays the chord and the strings and all that shit. I'm like, attention to detail is like what Naughty Dog are brilliant at. That story, fucking just...
She's slightly grown up as well,
give Naughty Dog all your money. I plan to do that one day.
Yeah.
Just turn up on the doorstep like, yo, this is my millions, have it. So yeah, the trailer was really good.
When I write my will, I'll just put Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Everything goes to Naughty Dog. And one day they're all like, why is there like a jar of fucking shit and like peanuts on my door? Belly button fluff.
I was going to say that.
Jar of belly button fluff.
I was going to say that.
So yeah, we don't even know much about it, which is totally classic Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
But I'm so hyped.
Exactly. That's all it takes.
Hyped.
That's all it takes. This really pisses me off about marketing when you like advertising a film and you give away like the major plot.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Oh, there's so many movies out there where the trailer has given away everything or made it look like something that is not.
Yeah.
Valerian, that just came out. Apparently, like the trailer portrays it as one thing, but when you watch the movie, it's very different.
What was the film that we watched recently where the trailer made it seem like one type of film, and then when you actually watch it, it's like a completely different film with a massive twist?
Colossal? where she controls the big monster in South Korea?
I think that might be it. I don't know. I feel like it was a bit more a bit of a bigger surprise than that. But yeah, Colossal was a good film.
Passengers as well. That the trailer for Passengers.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking of.
Was it Passengers? Oh, we didn't watch that together.
No, we didn't. I watched it with Candice. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, the trailer made it seem like something different, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It made it seem like they were both accidentally woke up.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
It was him in his loneliness and his depression, which people hated. And I'm like, what? You do the same?
Yeah.
It's not like he did it like...
I absolutely love shit like that.
Yeah.
Where you just explore the most... like the deepest recesses of psychology.
Yeah, the human condition and whatnot.
Just a whole what-if situation.
Yeah, people... It's not like you woke up day one and then day two you're like, I'm fucking bored, let's wake someone up.
Yeah.
It was like he tried to live for like at least a year by himself. Like I'm pretty sure like he was committed to dying alone on that ship. But like you can only live so long aboard a spaceship. It's not like you could go travel the world. There was no world. It was just I'm sure the spaceship got so small for him as well, and he was alone. He was depressed. I'm pretty sure he would thinking about killing himself and stuff like that, because of course you would have that situation. And in order to ease his pain, he woke someone up, and it's not.
I need to watch that film again, mate.
It was a good movie. Jennifer Lawrence's performance and Chris Pratt's performance, amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're off topic, and that might be because we've run out of
Uncharted
stuff to talk about. So, do you want to give out a design challenge, or that one earlier? Is that the one you want to go with?
Yeah. Well, you've got an option here.
Crossovers. We should do the design challenge. Is crossovers.
Crossovers.
Yeah. So like making Liara as Lara Croft.
Liara Croft. Or like taking Nathan Drake and putting him in like the Resident Evil franchise, or having him meet Joel, or just being that
just
situation.
Crossing over any game or console, or if you're an audio creative, maybe
mix some soundtracks.
Yeah, do smash two soundtracks together and try and mix them up and stuff like that. Or, that'd be really good. Yeah,
that'd be super exciting. And don't forget to tweet them at us at UT2cast.
Yes, and we will tweet them back.
Well, we'll retweet them.
We'll retweet it. That's what the lingo is. That's what the kids are doing these days. Retwittering and stuff. Okay, so see you on the next episode.
Yeah, massively appreciate you listening to this one.
Yeah.
Usually we say what the next episode is going to be, but I'm not 100% what it'll be yet. Oh, actually, we're both going to have Destiny 2 soon.
Oh, yes.
So the next one will be Destiny.
Probably our impressions on Destiny.
Yeah, and talking about Destiny 1, although we've already spoke about that a lot.
Well, there's so much more to talk about Destiny 1. There was like, 3 years worth of content. I say 3 years worth of content. There was like shit for content, but 3 years.
3 years of experiences. Yeah. So,
So yeah, we appreciate you watching this far, listening this far.
Oh, I didn't say watching, did I?
I don't know. Like episode 10, I'm sure I've nailed it. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
See you next time.
See you next time.